Hello and welcome to the second of our Card A Cuppas with me, Fiona Whitten. It's the 15th of April, which, believe it or not, is the third Wednesday in the month. The 1st of April was the first one, so this is the second of our Card A Cuppas. Please bear with me just for 1 second. I want to just check that this is going out live and I can actually see it. Let's see. Yes, I would say that's good. Right, okay, so without further ado, I was a little bit adventurous this time around, and I have a double fold card which looks like this. So it opens up. It's a double Z fold. So when you stand it up, not only do you have the larger Z fold there, but you have the second one here. It came out of a full sheet of A4, and I'll show you in a minute how I cut it. But this is what it looks like. So it's basically a base, and then you've got this strip that you glue on. So it folds up and it fits into a normal size envelope, which is great. I like things that will fit in normal envelopes. So the kit, I'll share with you the kit. So I've been going through all my retired Stampin' Up papers and things, and this paper comes from, it's called Lily Pond Lane. It's a 6x6. As you can see, there are lots of ducks on it. Some scenery. So you've got ducks on one side, all sorts of bits and pieces on the other. And some of the sheets, like this one, there are very cute little ducks. So everybody got quite a few ducks to fussy cut out. I've already done that. I didn't think you'd want to sit here watching me fussy cut. So those are my ducks and bits and pieces that I've already cut out. So there's a duckling here as well. So I've got a few ducks and a few ducklings, and my card had a different piece here because, as I said, I was using up my stuff that that's retired. So that was that, and I didn't have enough paper to do everything. So I'm going to share with you. So some of these bits are like in half or in thirds. I just need to work out which bits go together. So there were all sorts of paper. So there should have been 3 of those, but as I said, I didn't have enough. So I ended up cutting bits out of the scraps that I had so that I could actually, so I do actually have 3 the right size, but I'm just going to have to stick them together. These 3 were solid ones. This one actually I had to cut. But anyway, so there's all sorts of papers, all sorts of bits of cardstock, ducks aplenty, a couple of labels, obviously an envelope, and also a piece of white for the back. So I'm going to show you just very quickly how easy it is to cut your cardstock to make this base card. I'm going to use a piece of basic white, or just white I should say, and I'm just going to start off with it like this. So this is a full sheet of A4 cardstock, and I need to cut this down. So, oops, this is actually 28 centimetres in length. So I need to cut that at 28. So let's just get that arm out. Place that corner at the 28 centimetre mark. So I'm not cutting off a vast amount. I'm cutting off like 1.7 because it's 29.7 long. And then I need to cut a piece that's big enough to accommodate both the base card and this strip. Now the base card is 11 centimetres and this piece on here is 5 centimetres, so that makes it 16 centimetres. So then I have to find, actually it's 21, so 21 minus 16 is 5. So I'm going to cut 5. Is that right? 11, yes. I'm going to cut 5 centimetres off. So this piece I don't need. So now I now have a piece that is 28 long and 16 wide. The reason I did that is that my 16 is like literally right in the groove there, and it's just like, I don't really want to have to figure that one out and try and see it. And then you just need to score it twice. Just make sure I'm using the scoring blade. Once at 7 centimetres, second time at 14 centimetres, like that. And then I'm going to cut it so that I get the 11 centimetre piece and the 5 centimetre piece. So that's my 2 pieces. So I go 11 and I have 5. So there's my 11 and there's my 5. And that's all the cutting that you need for the base card. So the base card, what you will do is you will take the larger piece, fold it in half on that 14 centimetre piece, give that a good burnish, and then you're going to fold on the 7 centimetre line back on itself, like that. So that gives us the first Z fold. Now on this piece you're going to reverse it because you want the long edge, or the long panel, to be fixed to the front. So we're going to fold it in half on that piece, on the 14 again, like that. Except we're going to want it the other way. So we want that the other way and that the other way. Let's see, is that right? No, I had it right. Okay. So in effect, it's going to look like that. So you've got one piece that goes like that and the other piece that goes like that. And then what you will do is once you've put your papers on here and here, you can then glue those on, and then when you close it, it'll look like that. So it's pretty straightforward. When it comes to, and I will put all these measurements in in the description, sorry, on YouTube. So you will have all the measurements for cutting of the paper and everything. So I'm just going to stick the paper that I want on here. So this piece, I mean, I could put that piece on with the froggy and the thing, but you're not going to see that much of it. So I'm just going to stick to the stripes. On this one, it was just sort of like dots and things. So I'm going to put that with the stripes on. Let's get some glue. You can use glue, tape, whatever it is that you normally use for gluing pieces together. So I'm just going to put this on, like so. So that's that panel done. Like that. I'm also going to glue the piece of white on the back. Like so. I found it was easier to do this way around, because then it's done. You don't have to worry about which way up the white is, but you do need to worry about the rest of it. So I have that. Now I'll open it up, and I want to put this piece in here, So I'm going to do that and try and line up so that the lines going across are all at the same level. Doesn't always work. Oops. Oh, that's going to be a mess. Let's see. Get that off quickly. Put this one on. Let's see. Try not to put my head in the way. Probably have, but hey ho. Right, that's that. So I have 3 pieces already fixed on. Then I am going to fix on. Remember that has to go that way. To the long pieces to go to the on the left hand side. So I'm going to stick this on, which for some reason I have no idea why it's not the right size. So just bear with me for a second and I'm going to try it. Oops, wrong way. And I need that to be 4.5 centimetres. Don't know why it's too big, but hey. So that should fit on here. And I don't think that there's a right and a wrong way to put these. I think they look like goldfish to me, or was it shabunkins? I know when we went to Japan, crumbs, 2000. I think it was it was 2024. That's ridiculous. We went. It was actually at the top of a big department store in Tokyo. It was pouring down with rain. We decided that we'd had enough of walking around in the rain, so we thought we'd go in there. And they had a big exhibition on of fish. And I don't know how many different types of shabunkins and goldfish or whatever you want to call them they had. It was ridiculous. And they were all in different bowls and glass boxes and things. So it was quite interesting to see them. Now let's see. That was that one. I'm amazed that I actually managed to cut these so that when I stuck them together that they would be the right way. No mean feat, I can tell you that. So that one's going to go on here. And again, it's not the right. Great. This is where I need to take the. Let's see if that's the wrong size as well. It is. So again, I need to take some off this, which is going to make my trim a bit of a mess, but hey. So again, I need that to be 4.5. And I took that off the top, so I have to remember that's what I need to do. I need to take it off the top if I am going to have it match up. That's that. So that's the top there. So again, 4.5. You really don't need to be a maths whiz to be able to do this. You just need to have a keen eye for the papers and see where they actually match up when it comes to putting them together. Now, if I'm lucky, you might not see that line. Right, so then you need to do the same thing with these two. Cut that down to 4.5. That's how it goes that way, I think. And then that one to 4.5. And hopefully that's the last bit that I need to do. Is that the right size? Yes. How weird. Right, so let's put this on here. actually haven't cut this panel to the right size, but hey, gee, this one should be right, but maybe the next one's not, the white one that I cut. But let's see. Right, so I have those on. Hopefully when it dries, let's see now. It's not quite right, but hey. Right, so we now need to put this onto here. Now I had it all lined up so that the corners met. You can, if you want, put it in the middle, at the top, just off here, like so. It's really up to you. In fact, I think I might do that and hope, against hope, that I might have some scrap of that paper I can stick on the bottom. What's on the reverse side of it? Sometimes it's easier. It's like a grey. It's none of those. As I said, it's sod's law, I don't have any more of that left. I don't think I do. So I could just cut a completely new piece. Because it doesn't have to be identical. It's just nice if it is. Let's see, I don't want to put those. I could put lily pads. I don't want those. Feet. Not so keen on them. Right, okay. I'm just going to wing it. As I said, I'll figure out. Let's see if I put lily pads there. Or that's too fussy. Well, it's my problem. So I'm just going to do what I should have done, which is basically move that down to there, and then that's going to go on here. It's not quite wide enough. I don't know why. But obviously I had a bit of fun when I was cutting everything, and I don't think I've got any more in here. That's it. It's what it is. Right, okay, so the first thing I want to do is I want to actually glue this piece on. And you'll see why in a minute. So that's going to get glued to here. So we'll make sure that it all lines up with that corner, like so. This is going to get folded over, and that's going to get folded over. So then I'm going to apply the glue to this bottom portion here. So I need to just put glue here. It's easier to put it on this portion because you know exactly how wide you can go, whereas on this portion, because it's the whole length, you have to sort of judge it as to how much you can put on there and where. So that's it. So that opens up fine. and it'll even lie flat completely. I'm not sure that I'm even going to put that piece on. What I might do is I might put this with the duck on it. Maybe that's what I'll do. I might have a duck poking out. But that's going to get hidden anyway, I just suddenly thought, because we're going to have to put this label piece on. And because it has these little points, top, bottom, left and right, that's where you need to use those to figure out where exactly you want to put that, because that will then be directly in the middle, or should be. So I'm going to just glue that bottom portion. Like so, because I don't want it to be glued and stuck to the front of the card. If you put glue underneath here, you're going to have problems. So that's that. Now let's see if I slide that under. That's going to look. So this is going to sort of take your eye away from the fact that that piece doesn't quite fit. The other thing I could do is to cut a piece of cardstock and then basically just put that on as a layer to make that a bit more pronounced. I think it's going to be more important to have it lining up with the top rather than necessarily with the bottom, because like that. So that's my card so far. I've got my other label, so this is a smaller version of this one that I can stamp on. Now I've got some pretty Peacock ink, and this is the stamp set that went with the paper. I believe it's retired now. So I've got Have a Lovely Day. I think I'm going to put Hello Friend on this one. But I have all sorts of other sentiments I could put on. That in the middle, as close to the middle as I can get it, like so. That's that. Now I can glue this onto here, or I can add it using some foam pads. So I think I'm going to add it using some foam pads. I know it does mean that it'll end up being, if I'm going to send it, it'll end up being sent as a large letter. But hey. Oops, got a hair, don't want that. I think it must be molting, dear. That's not good. So these are just all my foam pads that I've been cutting up. It gets to the point sometimes when we're at Card A Cuppas that there's like only a few left, and I end up actually opening up a new pack, and then I bring all the little bits home that are left, and I just use them up as I'm doing things, be it cards for friends or whatever. So I'm going to put that on there. That's going to go on there, and again I'm going to try and line up those points. like so. Now I've got some ducks to add, and the question is, where do I add the ducks? I can add him, or I can add, I don't know if that's a her or not. I've got a mummy duck with some babies. Go up with them there. Now the question is whether do I want to put happy birthday or something else in the middle. So happy birthday. I think I might just use the happy birthday from here. Again, going to use some pretty Peacock ink, and I'm just going to bravely stamp the happy birthday on here. I'm not centering, I'm centering it from left to right, but not from top to bottom. There we go. So hopefully, because I use this score line here to centre it from left to right. That's that. I think this, now I can either do that or I've got this. Well, I do have a duckling somewhere. I did have. Maybe it's still in the envelope. I know I spent a while, no, not that envelope, this envelope. I spent a while fussy cutting these earlier because as I said, I didn't think you'd want to sit here watching me. It's gone astray. It's got to be here some. There it is. There's the duckling. So I mean, I could put that there with the duckling there. That's very cute. That one. Actually, I like those two. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to add that with some foam pads. But I'm not going to put any on the head because I want the head to go over that that piece of white sentiment. So that's going to go like that. I'll put a little bit of glue on the head, so that will fix it then to the sentiment. Don't need to go too mad with it, otherwise it will be scorching out. So it's just a little dab. So that can go there, like that. That's all fixed. I'm going to put the baby on a little foam pad. Like that. So that's quite sweet. So this one, I was going to glue this on, I think. And I'm going to have it going over the edge so that it kind of goes slightly below that sentiment. But of course you can, at the end of the day, it's your card. You can put whatever you want, wherever you want. As I say to people. That's that, and then that, and then I don't think I'm going to put her on foam pads either because it's just going to make it. I have on this one. I don't know why I did that. But hey, like that. And then I've got, oops, the back to do, which has got a bit of glue on it. Where's my eraser? So I've got a duck, and I've got a couple of ducks still. I think that's quite sweet. As I said, I'm just basically playing around with the images and putting them where I think they are the cutest, quite frankly. So that could go on there like that. And then she can go there. So I have that. So that's my card. So that's the back decorated, complete with glue. Let's get that off. That's the front. Now I have some embellishments, and I also have my envelope to decorate. So let's decorate the envelope first before I do the embellishment. So I think I'm going to do that one. He seems to look like a really happy duck. Make sure my envelope's the right way up. You can hear I've got sticky fingers. I'm going to leave that like that for the time being. Move those out the way. You can go out the way. Oh, I do need the glue still because I need to put the embellishments on. So this has some embellishments on. I just put them on the front because putting them on the inside, it means that they'll actually sort of mark the other papers. If I put them on here, it would mark on there. So that's why I didn't do that. So I'm going to put some just on the front, and I just grabbed some a minute ago. There they are. That's I think where I put them. And again, I think these are, they're called loose frosted dots, but I think again these are retired. I'm just going to check these out before I stick them on. So I'm going to put one. Oops. The problem is my glue on my fingers. Oh, that's going to go there. And I'm going to put a yellow one there. You see, I've got them all stuck to my fingers now. Don't need pink. Actually, I might have a smaller yellow one. Right. Go for it. Whilst I'm still not going too mad at it. That's that. That's that one. There. I'm going to have to tidy this up later and get these bits of glue off. And then, because I like uneven numbers, I'm not big on I like odd numbers, I'm not big on even numbers. I think I'm going to put that one down there. Actually, no, I'm going to put it there. There we go. That's it. I'm not going to put any more in there because otherwise I'm going to go completely over the top. And then I'll just be one big horrible gloomy mess. Right, so I think that's it. So that's today's card, the one that has hello friend on it. And then this one is the one that I took as the sample for this morning. So they're all being made using the same kit, and obviously different ducks meant things will look a little bit differently. So this one, when you open it out, looks like that. So that is this morning's, and then this one is this afternoon's. So I hope you've enjoyed seeing those. As I said, I will upload these to YouTube, which means that, and they will also have the instructions in the description of what size you need to have to be able to, let's see, I'm just trying to make sure that you can actually see these. Keep going. I need to go further down. No, I think I'm just about right now. So yes, so the cutting for the cardstock and all the paper will be on in the description on YouTube. So I hope you've enjoyed that, and obviously feel free to use your own coloured paper and cardstock and whatever to make your own versions. And I will see you for Card A Cuppas on the first Wednesday in May. Good grief. Which is a few weeks away, which is absolutely crazy. But next Monday we do have Craft and Chat. So if you want to join us, then if you check out my website, that has the link for Zoom, and we'll be there chatting from just about 4:30. All right, take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye.